The developer behind Procreate, some incredibly popular graphic design software available for iPads, graphic design and animation and that sort of thing, has come out and made a firm stance that they will not be using any artificial intelligence features in their graphic design software. This is awesome. I've made no secret about my general distaste for generative AI, whether it's words or video or animation or pretending to be someone's voice. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I dislike the fact that people are more and more heavily relying on AI to generate things which the human mind and human spirit would have generally done in the past. Writing works of fiction, writing works of nonfiction, writing articles. Oh my gosh. The number of news outlets nowadays, like tech news outlets that use AI chatbots to generate their tech news articles is insane. I'm not kidding. If you're reading things other than the Lunduke Journal, you're probably reading AI-generated articles at least a portion of the time. It's nuts. And seeing the same thing happen with art and everything else, I just dislike it. I dislike it so tremendously much. That's why the Lunduke Journal has a firm no AI policy. None of the artwork, none of the comic strips, none of the articles. It's all human created, artisanal, boutique, non-AI stuff. I want to play this little statement. It's 40 seconds long. This is from the CEO, the head dev guy behind Procreate. Listen to this. It's fantastic.
Are we rolling? You've been asking us about AI. I usually don't like getting in front of the camera. I prefer that our products speak for themselves. I really fucking hate generative AI. I don't like what's happening in the industry, and I don't like what it's doing to artists. We're not going to be introducing any generative AI into our products. Our products are always designed and developed with the idea that a human will be creating something. We don't exactly know where this story is going to go or how it ends, but we believe that we're on the right path supporting human creativity.
Beautiful. Quote, I really beeping hate generative AI. Couldn't have said it better myself, my man. They came out and made a very, very clear statement where, yeah, they are going to only have no AI. It's fantastic. They have, if you go to procreate.com/AI, they have their statement on it. It says in big bold letters, AI is not our future. Creativity is made, not generated. Oh yeah. Generative AI is ripping the humanity out of things. Built on a foundation of theft, the technology is steering us toward a barren future. Oh my word, yes. We think machine learning is a compelling technology with a lot of merit, but the path generative AI is on is wrong for us. We're here for the humans. We're not chasing a technology that is a moral threat to our greatest jewel, human creativity. In this technological rush, this might make us an exception or seem at risk of being left behind, but we see this road less traveled as the more exciting and fruitful one for our community. And then they say where we stand. No generative AI. We deeply respect your hard-earned skills. Your work belongs to you. We do not have access to your art by design, and we take pride in privacy. Your activity is not tracked in our apps. I love this. And the reason I'm calling this out is because when I see companies, big or small, doing the right things, just saying the heck with all the nonsense and the hype, let's do the right thing, that makes me excited. For example, when Framework comes out with highly repairable, highly modular and modifiable laptops, I talk about them. Because even though they're not perfect, I have a Framework laptop. I have a Framework 13. It is not perfect. It is not perfect at all. In fact, it's very difficult for me to do my video editing work on there. It has some performance issues. It has heat issues. Honestly, it has some build quality issues. But they're doing the right thing by trying to make their laptops more modular, more repairable, more open standard so you can do things with them. I love that. That deserves support, financial support, moral support. We deserve to be talking about the right things. Now, I don't have an iPad. I don't have an iPad. I've heard of Procreate. I know several people who use the Procreate software on an iPad because it's apparently quite good graphic design, artist-y software. So that's fantastic. And I love that. But you know what? When I see this sort of thing happen, when I see developers like the Procreate devs come out and say, you know what? No AI. We're just not going to do that. In fact, they take it even further. Check this out. When you buy their software, this sounds like a pitch for them, but I literally have never used this software before. I've just heard about it and seen about it. They make a point about having no in-app purchases or subscriptions. Look at the price of the software they list is what, $12.99 and $19.99 for the two different pieces of software. They list the price, and then afterwards they say once, right? It's $12.99. Once, period. Thank you. I feel like the developers behind Procreate are kindred spirits here, right? They're not like the Adobe folks who are out there saying, "Oh, you need to get a subscription and pay us, so much money every month to have access to the software," right? Or you lose access to it. I don't love that. I don't love subscriptions for software. I'm cool with subscriptions for a lot of things, but for software, like, if I have a subscription to a software service, I expect to, own the software as it's released or something, not to lose access to it. So when I see a developer come out and say, you know what, you buy the software once and you have it, it's yours. Beautiful. And then when they take it even further and they say, boom, no AI. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I almost want to go out and buy an iPad and buy this software just to support this, because this is the way I like to see things going. Now, this is not open source software, right? From what all I understand, this is about as proprietary as it gets. But I feel like the spirit here is far more open in terms of giving freedom and flexibility to the end user than a lot of the open source software that we've got going on right now. If you look at things like what's happening with Red Hat and Fedora are like, hey, yeah, AI is our future. Like, well, oh, geez, really? Yeah, I mean, Red Hat, basically the only things they talk about are containers and artificial intelligence. That's Red Hat's future, according to Red Hat. They don't even talk about Linux as much anymore. They're not alone. I mean, if you go over to Canonical's website, the makers of Ubuntu, they're starting to veer towards the AI train as well. And a lot of open source projects are going that way. I mean, heck, look at GitHub from Microsoft. I mean, I know it's Microsoft, but it's based on Git, and it's the largest repository of open source and free software on the planet, and yet it's like 99% AI stuff of stealing people's written works, code, README files, etc., repurposing them no matter what the license of it was, even if it was a proprietary closed source thing, which is real, and then they just start giving it away willy-nilly to other projects, even when the license is completely incompatible between the two projects. It just drives me friggin' crazy. And so when we see all of that happening in the open source world, in all corners of the open source world, where people are moving towards generative AI, and we see big generative AI open source projects, and the Linux Foundation literally is putting more money into AI and blockchain than they are into Linux, it makes me a little bit annoyed and concerned. Because then we look out there and we see companies like this, like the Procreate people. Again, I don't know them. I've never used their software. I don't even know if I want to use their software. But when I see the way they're approaching this, it makes me stand back and say, wait a minute. This is the way forward. This is the way forward. Pay for software once. No AI. Whatever you write and whatever you create and whatever you design is not being stolen and shoved into a learning thing to generate more AI created artwork for someone else. No. What you create is yours. Your artwork is yours. Your writing is yours. Take it and keep it. Yes. and focus on human creativity. I couldn't agree more with that statement. This is why the Lunduke Journal, when I put out an article or a show, it's all written by me, right? There's no AI chatbots helping me out. There's no little assistant things to insert words for me. And that may mean that there's mistakes in it. That may mean that I have spelling errors or grammatical errors, but it's written by a human gosh darn being. And I feel like that's how it should be. And I feel the same way about software, about artwork, pixel art even. It should be handmade. Computers are a tool for us to use. When we're going down the road of everything is AI generated, well, now the computers are using us. They're taking the works that we have and using it to generate more stuff, which 99% of the time is just being consumed by more AI bots. That's not what computers were meant for. They're a tool for us to use. I love it when pieces of software really facilitate that, really just focus on making a great piece of software for me, a human, to sit down and generate something myself. Human generated, not AI generated, right? So kudos to these Procreate folks, Procreate.com. And you can go to read their thing at Procreate.com/AI. Absolutely love it. I really beeping hate generative AI. We need more of this. We absolutely need more of this. And I'm not joking. When I say half lightheartedly that, oh man, I'd almost go out and buy an iPad so I could buy this software and leave them a comment about how I'm here specifically because you said you hated generative AI. I mean that. I don't even know what the prices of iPads are. Part of me is tempted to go out and buy whatever the cheapest iPad is just so I have one. Buy both of their iPad apps. Go in there and leave a comment. I bought an iPad just because you said I beeping hate generative AI. So take that, Adobe and Microsoft. But Microsoft's out there releasing entire lines of laptops and computers with their Copilot PCs that are all about AI. Top to bottom, front to back, side to side, it's all AI. That's insane to me. And I know Apple and whatnot, they're kind of going down the AI road a bit now too. I mean, everyone is. But man, whatever little examples there are that are out there of people saying, no, wait a minute, this is nuts. This is going down a dark path. And like the Procreate team said, we think machine learning is a compelling technology with a lot of merit, but the path generative AI is on is wrong for us. See, that's how kind of I feel. When I look at the large language models that are out there and some of the really amazing bits of coding that have and hardware engineering that have led to make some of this generative AI possible, it is awesome. From a technological perspective, from an engineering perspective, it is impressive and awesome. I cannot disagree with that. It is truly impressive. I mean, is it a bit silly that we're at a point now where we're like, oh, I want to generate an image of Superman riding a dinosaur using some generative AI model, and it takes 1.21 gigawatts of electricity and a small server farm to do it, and the company just lost $3,000 because I asked it to generate a picture of Superman on a dinosaur. Is that stupid? Yeah, that's pretty stupid. That's pretty dumb. But the technology behind it is pretty impressive just the same. I just don't think it's the right way to go. That's just my personal opinion. So once again, kudos to the Procreate Dev. That's pretty amazing. I would love to see more of this. And yeah, I'm darn serious. I might buy a cheap iPad just to do this. Whatever like the previous generation lowest end iPad is, I'm tempted. I'm tempted right now to go out and go to whatever store, go to Best Buy or whatever and buy one just so I can write the comment. on Procreate's application. I'm not joking here. This stuff needs to be supported, right? It's just like why I bought the Framework 13. I mean, granted, I had hoped the Framework 13 laptop was going to be a little bit more suitable for doing, say, video production work. It's not really, but it is a fantastic laptop just the same, and I'm happy I purchased it, in part to support the work going in the right direction, and in part because it is a good laptop and I do enjoy having it. And so maybe I'll feel the same about this Procreate software. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get it. I'm just saying, it's outside of what I would normally do, but I want to see more of this happening. And I want to send a message, a clear message to the Microsofts and Adobes and the Googles and the Red Hats of the world that, yeah, I'm pretty much done with the AI thing. I'm pretty much done with that. Let's go ahead and just toss that off to the side. Unless you can come up with something better than creating deep fakes of people talking and pictures of people eating spaghetti, I'm pretty well done. I'm pretty well done with this. Let's move on and focus on software that respects people's personal work, doesn't steal the work that people create in order to feed it into some sort of big, large language model learning factory. And let's just let people use computers, which includes a laptop, a tablet, all of it. It's all computers. And let's let people use computers as a tool to create whatever it is they want to create. Podcasts, works of art, the great American novel, whatever. Let's focus on that with no AI, because AI is just going to end up making people stupider and less capable of doing things in the long run. So let's knock that off and be more like these Procreate folks. Anyway, I had to share this because it made me happy. It made me genuinely happy to see a company going down the right path and making a big, public, self-censored statement. I really beeping hate generative AI. Love it. Huge support, massive kudos. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, oh, by the way, lunduke.com, lunduke.locals.com, yada, yada, yada. I do declare end broadcast. By the way, this whole video, no AI. I don't know if you can tell, but there's no AI here.